Live video is starting. Are we started? We never know. I think we're live. I think we're live now. Hello, friends. I am just going to take 2 seconds and refresh this into the group to see if I am showing up here. Welcome to tonight's live stream. I'm hoping I can, oh, perfect. I can see myself there. We are live. We're here. We're going to be analyzing money test results. Stacy, I just saw your response over there in the corner. Actually, if you're here, Stacy, if you're joining me live on the stream, I might actually just give you the Zoom link to like join me at a certain point. So if you're here, cool. If not, cool. Essentially, I just wanted to ask for like more context on the funnel, where you're sending people to, what the price points are, what it looks like, yada yada. In the meantime, let me get started. I'm going to pull up some images, and I'm going to start with one that I am running traffic to. So hands up in the comments if you can see this. I'm going to just head over to our tabs to see if I can see who is here. Oh, perfect. Hi, Stacy. Hello. Amazing. Let me know, give me a thumbs up if you guys can see the part that I'm screen sharing right now. It is a little image that's essentially a money test dashboard that I have customized for somebody else. And so let me take you through essentially what their funnel is right now so that you can get an understanding of what I'm doing here. So the first one, the first thing that we're doing is we are sending traffic to a lead magnet landing page. So first, we're just generating straight up leads. We're not asking them for the sale. We're not asking them for anything additional. We're just trying to get people to sign up for a free 20-minute training. Okay. So as you can see here, we've had 1,100 clicks to that. From there, we've had 241 people become leads. We've spent a majority of our budget on getting those people to become leads. And our average cost per lead down here is $14.12. So for this client, that lead cost is good, reasonable, to be expected for them. We've been running ads to different things over the last year, and on the cheap side, if it's really resonating, like the offer that we're putting in front of them, and by offer I mean like entry point, lead magnet, like sign up for something free. If it's really resonating with their community, we'll get them at like $5-6 leads, but that's very rare. And then in some instances, we pay up to $30 for a lead to go through like a 5-day challenge. So when I look at this, I'm like, okay, the cost per lead is essentially where we are seeing it in line with everything else that we're running. Now, the landing page conversion rate, you could say by industry averages, is actually a little bit low, 21%. Could we improve that? Yes, I think that there could be a slight improvement. Hey, Jess, so good to see you. Could there be an improvement to that landing page? Yes. Is that the most pressing thing that we need to work on to increase our ROAS down here? I'm not sure yet. Okay, so let me walk through the rest of it, and then I'll show you what I did to start getting a little bit more clarity. Because for me, like I have this beautiful combo of left and right brainedness, like creative, ad creative side. I'm like, I think that's your left brain. I think that's your left brain. I'm really good at copy and creative and like strategy. Maybe strategy is a left right brain side. And somebody who knows this, correct me. But then I'm like really good at numbers and data. And so more data is going to give us the information that we need here. So the first thing that we could actually, let me say this. Could we make the assumption that if we doubled our landing page conversion rate, we would effectively double our ROAS? Yes, that is an assumption that we could make. Now we would have to go prove it true, right? Like we would have to go make the tweaks to our landing page. We would have to update the headlines. Jess, who just joined, her and I are constantly sending things back and forth to each other of, hey, what do you think about this? What am I missing over here from this headline? Is this speaking to the person that I think it's speaking to? And then Jess will be like, no, Bond, I'm actually interpreting it like this, right? And then I'll say something to Jess of, hey, it's actually making me think that. And so just making those tweaks to the landing page, if we doubled the conversion rate of the landing page, let's say got it to like 40%, 45%, could we double the ROAS down here? Yes, it's a possibility. If we double our ROAS, if it goes from 0.2 to 0.4, do we want that for the business? Is that still profitable? I mean, the answer is no, we wouldn't be able to continue putting this amount of ad spend in because at a certain point, the money would run out, right? And so then we need to continue looking deeper in the funnel. So the next thing that we have information on right now is the number of leads going to become customers, right? So right now, this offer, and it's a $44 offer on the back end, right? So they'll watch the training, and then underneath the training, there's like a long form sales page that tells them this $44 step is the next thing. Right now, 3.73% of people are converting. Now, is that great? Again, all we have to go off of is our own results, what we've historically got, or like the results that we've historically had before, or industry standards, but then there's nuance with that because just every funnel is completely different. So it's like I always try and beat myself versus compare it to the industry. But if I knew that in the past I ran traffic and let's say 10% of the leads, 15% of the leads that signed up then ultimately bought this $44 product, would that make our ROAS not negative in this instance? I'm trying to look for my phone so I can do money math on it, but I can't see it, so I'll have to do it here on the computer. But we're at 3.73. So let's say we increase this even just slightly, because remember, these are leads that are like now coming into your world, they're paying attention. So a sales page conversion rate, if we're sending like a $44 offer to straight cold traffic, yeah, that could be a typical sales page conversion rate. If we're selling a cookbook on Shopify, again, that's something I do, not my cookbook, but for a partner brand, could a 3.73% conversion make sense? Yeah, on cold traffic for sure. But is it possible that once they give us their email address, it might be easier to get them to purchase something if it's the logical next step after you've delivered some value? Yes, 10% is not out of the question of what could be expected. So let me take 10%. I'm going to divide it by 3.73. And so it's 2.68 times what we're getting now, right? So it's like by making the tweaks to the sales page, we could essentially get more people, or again, let's go back to the hypothesis. If we 2.5 times the conversion rate of our sales page, could we assume that we could 2.5 times our ROAS? Hypothetically, yes, right? Like that's an assumption we can make until we actually go prove it. So if we go to, if we do 0.21 times the increase, that could take us potentially to a ROAS of 0.56 by improving the sales page conversion rate here to 10%, right? Now, if we do both of those things, hypothetically, we're doubling this and we'll just say tripling this for ease. If we make those improvements to our sales process, if we ask the people maybe opting in, if we put a non-buyer survey at the end of our email sequence, could we get information to help make the offer that we are selling right here more compelling for the future people coming into this pipeline? Totally doable. And if we did both of those things, if we improved the landing page conversion rate and improved the sales conversion rate, hypothetically, we could get to a point of break even because doubling the landing page conversion rate would take us to 0.4. And then doing 2.5 times that would take us to a break even 1. Okay, so you see how before I was doing this launch, actually, some of you who were members of Strategy before didn't see some of these emails about the dashboard, this specific dashboard, but really it helps us visualize when we make these small improvements, how powerful they are to the throughput of that traffic, right? Because at the end of the day, we're always fighting Facebook for low-cost traffic. We're always going to be competing against other people on the front end. And it's that stupid adage of whoever can spend the most wins, right? Like that's how people on the front end think about that. But the way that they think about that is they're like, if the money coming or the money going out, so the traffic coming in turns into the most amount of sales possible, then we can scale and spend money all day, right? So then that makes it our job as business owners, as marketers, to go through and be like, okay, where can I make improvements to this process? And then make a hypothesis, go out there and test it. Sometimes when I test shit, I'm right. Sometimes when I test shit, I'm wrong. Like, I don't know what my like success or failure rate of those two things are, but like full transparency that sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong with those tests. So here, the data that I have with this dashboard, I've made 2 assumptions that if we improve the landing page conversion rate and we improve the sales conversion rate of those leads into sales, then technically and hypothetically, we could get to a break-even 1 ROAS. Now, I'm the type of person where I'm like, cool, now how do I do that? Like, where are even the opportunities at that point to make the changes? So for the landing page conversion rate, those change opportunities are just like what the ads itself say, or what the ads themselves say. So you could drive down your ad spend by making better ad copy that speaks to your ideal customer and targeting them correctly on Facebook. You could lower the cost per click over on Facebook, which would then lower the cost per lead. And if our cost per lead is slightly lower, then our ROAS would be higher. Okay, so we can even start over here. Let's say this is the ad, and this over here is the landing page, right? The other changes that you can make is actually just making that landing page itself better. You could make it longer. You can make it shorter, right? If you have a really verbose, wordy landing page that people are like, what the is this person even talking about? Sometimes just chopping it in half and getting rid of the redundant stuff could actually make it convert better. Now, is it better people coming into the pipeline? Well, that's arguable, right? You can still need to have good ad creative, good targeting, and then a good sales process on the back of it. But those are things that you could do to make the landing page better. You could improve the design of it, right? Maybe it's something that you've put together in ClickFunnels or Go High Level, and you've never had a sales page designer or a landing page designer take a look at it. Maybe you're using like 15 different fonts on it and it's really hard to scan and there's not enough white space. So when people land on that from their ad, they're getting overwhelmed and then they're not taking action because they're not crystal clear what this thing is that you're asking them to opt into. Maybe even going on that train of thought, like maybe what you're asking them to do or download just isn't compelling. They don't find value in whatever that thing is. And so you might need to just like shift the way that you position it with your copy. You might need to demonstrate what doing that looks like. That makes me think of when I used to run Clockworks ads, the book by Mike Michalowicz. They had a calculator that was like a time tracker that was really important to help you figure out how to trash, transfer, and trim things off of your plate to free up your time as a CEO. It was a brilliant tool, but like that one is really great when you visualize what that calculator is. And so we could demonstrate the value of the calculator by adding more visuals, adding testimonials of people who have achieved whatever you're promising in the actual lead magnet itself, right? Like that's the game of Facebook ads. Everyone thinks it's like, what do we press inside of Ads Manager? And honestly, it's just like a monkey can do that part of the job. Like, honestly, just going in there could be outsourced to some lower per hour person on your team. It doesn't have to be you. It doesn't have to be the CEO. But the real skill set of Facebook ads is analyzing the data and then knowing what to do with it, right? So that's how we could improve our landing page. Now, our sales conversion rate has a few additional mechanisms. So here, I'm actually going to switch over to another view because what I did is I wanted to visualize. So as you can see, there's 9 sales here. So if you download or if you divide 713 by 9, you're like, oh, cool, Bond, you're selling an offer that's $79.22. Like that's a very specific price point. But that's not what's happening here. There's actually a few more pieces of the puzzle. So let me pull that up onto the screen. So the next thing that I did when I was starting to analyze this entire process and how our ad traffic, so this is only people who have clicked on the ad. We made a separate entire like funnel and entry point so that we could get clean data. Me and my clients refer to it as, do you have clean data or is it dirty data? Like, tell me what I'm dealing with here so I can make assumptions based on perfectly clean data, or am I reading between the lines with some dirty data and your warm audiences are actually pulling up the results of all this at the end of the day. So here's what the funnel looks like. Remember, free entry points. So they're generating leads here. On the thank you page, they're delivering the content and then offering a $44 offer. As you check out, there's an option to add a $21 bump to that process. And then lastly, on the thank you page of there's a $127 one-time offer. Now, for anyone who's been in the program for a really long time, can I just clear one thing up? Because everyone who knows that I've written that bro marketing article is like, Bond, excuse me, you do bro-y type things. Remember, friends, marketing tactics themselves are neutral. Just because you have a multi-step funnel does not make you a bro marketer. Where it makes you a bro marketer is if you're unethical, if you are just in it for the money, if you're refusing refund requests, if you're not promising or not delivering what you promise, if you're using like 15 upsells, like one-time offers, and like not accepting normal human behavior and just using all these like scarcity tactics that aren't true and real. It's all of that. But because something has an order bump and because something has a one-time offer on the end of it does not make it bro marketing. And I'm saying that not only for all of you, but for me, because for years I fucking held myself back thinking that I would be unethical if I did all of those things. But at the end of the day, the marketing tactics are the thing that's neutral. It's just our own value sets applied to what we're doing with those marketing tactics. So if this client is delivering what they're promising at each step of the way, if they're helping people get results and tracking those results, make your funnel look like you want to make your funnel. That's the little sidetrack I'm going to take you down today for you, for me, for all of us. Okay. So here I wanted to get a little bit more information into how this revenue was being generated. So these $44 sales, if we just had 9 of them, our ROAS would be even lower. So I'm like, okay, 3.7% of the leads coming in are upgrading here. But when they do buy, a third of them are adding on the order bump. So is the order bump the problem? No, that's actually a quite exceptional amount. I've seen order bumps from like, Jess, if you're on the live stream still, I'd love to hear what you've seen them at, because I know you see a lot of behind the scenes of things, but I've seen them from like 20% take. It could be like 15 if it's not super compelling, all the way up to, I have one that we've spent almost 100 grand on now, and we're at 45% take rate on, oh my God, my brain's gonna, a $37 bump. And I was like, what the heck price is it? It's a $37 bump on a $37 front end price point. So combined, it's a little bit more value than these two things. But 33%, I am loving that number in general, right? Now, the $127 one-time offer, excuse me, this is the thing that's like really starting to add on more revenue off the back end. Once people add that, right, it's increasing our average order value. 22% of people. Now, granted, we only have 9 sales. So in the grand scheme of things, it's 9 sales. It's not like at scale, but we've spent $3,400. So it's also not nothing burger, right? We have made a little bit of a commitment into this process, but we're still not breaking even. We're not even anywhere close to breaking even right now. But looking at this sales conversion rate at the higher priced one-time offer, at a 22% conversion rate, like I'm loving that so far. So I would do nothing different to the bump and the one-time offer here. Hence why I've used this like darker green color, because that means like green means go in this instance. The landing page conversion rate, does it need work? Sort of. This is like, if this was a stoplight, this would be the yellow color, maybe focus there. But truly looking at these numbers, we can't spend $14 to consistently make $293 at any sort of scale. We'd go broke. We'd go broke, right? So the biggest point of improvement here is the sales conversion rate. So that for me is like, there's 2 things that make that up. It is the sales page itself. So once they opt in and then they get that value video that has the sales page underneath it, we need to update the copy on that. We need to make the offer itself more compelling. We need to explain why this is for them right now, why it's going to help them achieve the next most pressing thing, that the video that they opt in for, that value that they're getting up front, why it's the next most pressing thing that they need to do to achieve what they just learned, right? So for me, that's like web page copy or sales page copy, sales page design, learning persuasion copywriting. Again, saying words like that doesn't make it bro marketing. It's like we need to help people make a transformation or make a decision that will help them make a transformation. If our work adds value to people's lives, it is our responsibility to be more persuasive in getting them to understand why that work is important for them, because by doing it, they improve their life. I will stand by that all day, every day. Okay, so improving the sales page. The other thing, which I don't know if Jamie's on the call today, but if you have any thoughts about or any interest in learning like back-end email engagement and not deliverability, it's more engagement and getting people to actually engage with your content once they're on your list. Like Jamie's your girl. I can totally send you guys. She has this crazy bingeable email series that she's now putting together that teaches you how to get into the inbox more afterwards, right? So the other thing that we can work on to get people to buy this $44 price point so that they can add on $21 order bumps, so that they can add on $127 one-time offers, so that we generate more revenue, so that our ROAS is higher, is we focus on emails that get people back, back to this offer, right? So they opt in, they consume the content, they get the value, and then we communicate why this is the best next step for them, and get them back here to improve this conversion rate here. Okay, so when I see a dashboard, immediately I can ask like, 3 questions to somebody and be like, okay, I think that's your biggest next opportunity. And I always also look at this, improving your landing page conversion rate, the maximum we can improve that is 5 times, not even like it's 4 point something, right? If we do 100%, which is like statistically impossible, we can improve it 4.7 times. And that is the most that we can ever improve it. So if we go 4.7 times the 0.21 ROAS, we could maybe get it to break even with a statistically impossible 100% of people opting in. So realistically, we could double it. That's a very realistic thing to be able to aim for. Now here is where we have a little bit more leverage because we can more than double it, right? Now, if this was, like I said, cold front end traffic, could we more than double it? Yes, it would be challenging, but that might not be the thing that I would optimize for cold front end traffic. But here, because they're warm leads who have just consumed a piece of your content, could we 3x this? Yeah, it's possible. Could we even 4x it? What's 4x? 3.7 times 4. Yeah, 14.8. It's definitely possible. So we could 2 times the output of focusing on just improving the landing page by making this our singular focus to improve the offer, improve the sales page, improve the emails that gets people back to sell them. Are you guys following? Do you love this shit? I love this shit so much. This is like my favorite part of ads. Our next training, can I just like brag on this for a moment? So these are the dashboards that I actually install in clients' businesses, and I've automated them essentially with Zapier. And it spits out the Facebook ad side, it spits out the organic ad side, it stays up to date with everything other than the clicks and the Facebook ad spend. Like literally everything just stays up to date. So at a moment's notice, you can see how your business is doing from a lead generation standpoint. And it's just absolutely beautiful. I feel like I should just like license this dashboard. Although I am retiring and going off to do a secret project that I have not disclosed much about yet. But if you can make it to, hold on, when is that next one? Next Wednesday. This one's a little bit earlier because our last 2 have been later in the day. So next Wednesday at 12:30, we're going to be talking more about automating this reporting dashboard. And so we're going to do it on Zoom next time so that it can be like more back and forth, because I'll be just showing you boring tech setups instead of talking through it. I'll be like, here's the button that I push. And then you'll be like, what? And then we'll have a conversation about it. So it's going to be super, super fun. Oh, Jessica, amazing. Jamie's email system is awesome. You should link it later, Bond. Shit. I'm like, I know what it is, but I don't. It's like she gave me an affiliate link for it, but I would promote it even if I didn't have one. It's like eversellingemailsystem.com/bond or something. If that doesn't work, I'll pop it here later. But her like free value emails off of them are super great. And if anyone's been through my request and invite sales process in the last, I'm going to say 8 months, I added one of her emails that she recommends called the Hey email. I think it's like email number 4 or something of her series. I added it to my email series about 8 months ago, and it's phenomenal at getting extra like deliverability in the inbox. So amazing. Okay. And thanks also, Jess, for putting in those conversion rates there. I know people love to hear what's working for other people. Boom. Okay. Let me talk one more thing, and then we are going to jump into Stacy's, and we're going to like talk through this same process. Stacy, if you are open to it and you want to come on video, feel free to like request the Zoom link. It's in the email that I actually sent out yesterday. That's the same one that I'm on right now. If you still have that, feel free to hop on, and then we'll kind of just chat out yours and you can talk me through what your sales process looks like there. But here, so let's say we make those improvements to our landing page, we make those improvements to our sales page, and we're slowly getting closer to hitting a 1x ROAS, right? in the bottom here. Let me pull that back up on the screen. We're slowly getting closer to the revenue in equals the revenue out. Even as we run ads more, this cost has come down too, because for us, we started around $16 a lead. Then we start to find creatives that work. We start to optimize a little bit more, and the lead costs get less and less at scale, which is beautiful. I'm always turning off things that aren't resonating, turning on new variations based on what I'm seeing work. And I'm just watching it, the lower cost leads, as long as I'm still getting sales, right? Like I'm tracking the humans coming into the pipeline to make sure that those humans that I am targeting are turning into sales at the same or better rate. But this does come down sometimes when you're focusing on it. So that is all well and good. But at the end of the day, we're still just making $1 in for every $1 out. So it's like, could we do that in perpetuity? Yeah, but why would you want to? Because now we have 9 customers to service. Now that means answering questions. That means resetting lost passwords. That means just like, not that that's a bad thing, but it is an expenditure of time or resources for our business, right? So if we're not getting compensated like monetarily for doing that, we're doing it for free or at a loss. And like, why are we doing that? I would rather you be doing better things with your time. And not to say that that's a bad thing to be doing, but if we're not being compensated, go do some crafts, go take a walk. Like those nurture your soul. Go nurture your soul if you're doing free things. Don't just impact people on the internet for free. You could also argue me against that as well. So what I'm then thinking next, and this is what I've informed the client, is this funnel in isolation is technically doing what it's designed to do. These are called self-liquidating offer funnels, right? Slow funnels, SLOs. They're not meant to be highly profitable. They are meant to acquire customers. In this case, it's slightly different because we're doing the lead with tripwire style, right? So yes, our list is growing at a higher rate, but the cost to acquire a customer, let me do that math actually. The 3,403.07 divided by 9. The cost to acquire a customer right here is $378, but you're paying $378 to only make a fraction of that back. So what we need to think about is, okay, now what? So now that these people are in our world, now what? And then this is where it's like, oh, you go to Russell Brunson's value ladder, and the value ladder is a bro marketing thing. It's like, no. A 15-step value ladder where you're not giving them what you're giving them at this level, but promising only to get them into the next level and using like cult theory. I don't know. Maybe that's unethical. I joke facetiously about the value ladder because so many people think that's what you need to succeed. But at the end of the day, we could have just taken this ad spend and put it towards another funnel that was designed to create a higher ROAS. This funnel, by the way that it's designed, this $44 product in an industry that has $14 average lead costs with a $21 order bump and a $127 one-time offer, the economics of that are not designed to be crazy profitable. So this is where, at the end of the day, it's like Facebook ads are only amplifying the economics of the model we've chosen. Facebook ads are only amplifying the ability for our average cart value to be whatever size it is that we've created, right? What we need to do to change that is change our average order value or change our lifetime customer value. Really, those are the two things that for this specific funnel, if we want to make it work with the current front setup that it has, that is where we need to focus our time and attention. And it's like, could we spend 2-3 months trying to optimize the throughput of this? Yes, because I've done it for a client. We've been working on a not even break even funnel on the front end for 5 months. 5 months. We have been optimizing every single part, not this one, another one, every single part of that front end. And 4.5 months ago, actually, even before I started working with that client, we had the conversation of, hey, friend, I think the nuke point in your business is that your average order value and customer lifetime value are not high enough to sustain the ad spend required to acquire a new customer to go through that process. I was fully transparent with that beforehand because I understood the economics of the throughput of traffic, right? We buy 1,200 clicks up here, and those 1,200 clicks are worth less than $1 over here. But if we're spending $5 on them, that just doesn't make sense, right? So then we got to focus not just on this front end thing, because we could focus on it until we're blue in the face and be like, why isn't this working? Why isn't my business working? It's not your business. It's just the front end model that we've chosen in this moment, right? So we just use the data to now make different decisions, to now focus our attention in different places. You guys with me? Are you as obsessed with this as I am? I'm like, wait a minute, did that even make sense? I fucking love numbers. Oh, Lorraine, I'm so glad you're here too. Super cool. I'm loving it. I'm feeling like I still have a lot of work to do. Listen, I still have a lot of work to do. So please know that that's part of the process too, right? And everything that we do here makes us better organically. So every single improvement that we do that we do for our ads has a trickle down effect organically. And like, it's just going to improve. It's going to make us better. It's going to make the next thing that we launch better. It's going to make our audience bigger. It's going to give us more opportunity. Like, honestly, there's nothing negative about this. I want you to see the opportunity of understanding your data and how it can empower the hell out of you to go out there and go after bigger things. But like, we need to look at that data. That's the thing that's going to empower us, right? Like, take our power back from that data, and do big things with it. Okay, Stacy, I'm going to let you on, and I think there's like a 30-second delay, so you don't know that I'm letting you on right now, but Stacy, hello. Are you here with me? I know that was a little delay since I invited you back on. All right, maybe you're not.
I'm here.
Perfect.
Yep, I've got a ton of feedback. Let me turn it off. Hang on.
Can I pull your money test up on the screen while we wait? Perfect.
Yes. Yes, pull it and I will answer questions.
Okay, so amazing. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Do you want to tell everyone a little bit about you and what you do, just so that we can have context into reading this?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a color analyst and style coach. The funnel that I was looking at is a do-it-yourself color analysis course.
Cool.
And I'm going to apologize now. I have 7 kids, so I'm trying to keep them quiet, but
yes,
like, it's just gonna be what it is.
Perfect.
Yeah, so that's my offer and stuff.
Awesome. How much is the offer?
It's $57.
$67?
It's 57.
Oh, 57. Perfect. Is there any order bumps, one-time offers, like anything else in the funnel?
So when you were talking, I realized that my situation was kind of messy compared to what you were talking about.
Yep.
So the lead goes to a tripwire with a $7.
Cool.
It's a $7 tripwire, and then there's a link on that page to get the actual course for 47.
Cool.
And I don't think there's another upsell on the end of that one, but the course itself has the total value of the course and upsells is 113. Cool. But at the moment, I cannot remember exactly what's in there.
Okay, no worries. Here's what I'm looking at with this. So just to confirm, you are sending people, like, you are getting free leads in the front end, and then on the thank you page, you said it's that tripwire version with the $7 offer, right?
Yes, that's correct.
I love it. So for you right now, your starting point is better than the example that we just went through. So I'm looking at the cost per lead of $1.05. This, could it be optimized a little bit more? Sure. If we tested a few more ad creatives, if we played around with some audience targeting, people say that's still dead, but I still find that by going to different segments, you can get a little bit more cost-effective leads using interest still. Could we bring this cost per lead down closer to the 86 cents? For sure. But dollar leads, great starting point, right? Here,
Yeah, I'll take them.
yeah, I'll take them all day.
that.
I was just saying to my fiance not too long ago, I was like, remember when coaching clients used to get 50-cent leads? Why didn't we spend all the money? Like, why
That
didn't
was
we just,
before my time.
why did we not just spend all the money? I had clients in 2016? I think it was 2016 that were getting 50-cent leads and like during launches, and we should have just literally poured tens of thousands of dollars in it, but we didn't know. I'm looking at your landing page conversion rate here, and to me, that feels like a really good conversion rate. Of course, if you split test a few things and made some tweaks, could you make a little bit of a difference? Sure. But to double it, to double your ROAS, it's probably not the first thing that I would even focus on doing anything with, right? It's reasonable conversion rate, reasonable lead cost. I'd keep it running over there, maybe experimenting with just a new ad creative every once in a while.
Okay, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, the opportunity that I'm seeing here is because similar to the last one, that it was a lead to sales tripwire, and it has a lower price point of $7. This is probably where our biggest improvement can happen. And then why don't I make a copy of the dashboard that I was showing you, and I'll pop it into the Facebook group so that you can add on like the discounted course as well as its own like separate column in the future, so that your visual looks like that 5-point visual that I had over here.
Yes, love it.
Looks like this, just because it'll give you a little bit more
Right.
transparency into like where it is working, because without that, it's harder to tell, hey, is that bump working, or is that next offer working? Like where is the mismatch between that? But just looking at this one, let me go back to our full screen and yours. Looking at this one, 4 people converting from 161 leads. That tells me those 2 things. So the email sales sequence that you're following up with them afterwards, that could probably use some love. I hate saying this because I was so against AI when it first came out, but I have been co-writing with ChatGPT. I did an entire warehouse closing sales sequence of 5 emails on Sunday this week. And it took me like an hour and 40 minutes from start to finish. And I just like wrote an entire sales sequence. And the fact that I could give it what I had, ask it to point out maybe where I might not be compelling enough, where it might not be persuasive, where my ideal audience might not resonate with what I'm like putting there, asking it, how do you think that I could make it better? I'm against saying ChatGPT rewrite these for me, but I love using it as a tool to ask, almost like a coach, like make it your coach GPT, and be like, where could I improve the opportunity for people to buy on the back end of this like email sequence?
Totally did that. I did that. I actually went in and put my email with a welcome sequence in, and I was like,
Yeah.
pretend you're an award-winning
Yes.
copywriter and show me
Yes.
what you can do to improve.
What did it give you?
It didn't make as many suggestions as I had hoped, actually. So I may go back and ask it more specific, the things
Yeah.
you said, more persuasive,
More
be a little bit more specific.
persuasive. How would you get
Yeah.
a higher click-through rate? Like my prompts, I actually just put in a prompt today. It was like this long. It was so specific. I'm like, here's what it is. Here's what it isn't. And then it first came back with a response, and I was like, no, I don't need you to respond like that because I have this knowledge. So I need your response to be more like this. Like it's getting very direct with it in terms of helping you create those outcomes. But for me, I'm a generator in human design who like likes to dialogue back and forth. And so it's just a great tool even to get me thinking about where I could make it better. But that's one place. And then the actual like sales page itself. Do you have the URL? Did you share that with me?
I can get it for you. Just one
Yeah,
second.
pop it in
I had it
the
pulled up
Zoom
for
chat.
you. I just need to go.
Perfect. I'll see if there's
Sorry,
anything that like I see that's standing out right
Oh,
away.
I'm trying to open my pages instead of just giving you the link. Okay.
I
Hold
could
on.
do you want me to let you share the screen and then you can just,
Oh no, it's okay. There,
okay,
I got it. There it is.
perfect. Boom. Okay. And so this is the page they land on after they opt in.
Yes, they get this, I think it's the day after they get the lead magnet. So maybe I could
Perfect.
shorten that time. I think maybe,
So
but
it's from an email. So they opt in, you send them straight to email or do you deliver something on that thank you page?
I'm not sure if there's a delivery. I didn't really tweak the lead funnel, so I'm not
Yep.
really sure. They don't see this initially though.
Okay,
So
cool.
maybe that's a problem. So
This
maybe
is
fix that.
the $7 one.
No, this is the
I'm
core
following.
offer here.
Okay.
It's the
I'm
$57
following.
offer.
Yeah. Do you have the $7 one as well?
Yes, I can get you that page. Let me go find it.
Okay. I love your coloring. I love your design. You can clearly tell that you have a background in that.
Thank you. Okay, that one is
I'm in
the
autumn, if anyone is wondering. Okay. The first look at it, it feels like a solid sales page. So then my thought process is it more the emails that aren't getting people to click over to this page? So
That's what I suspect. I
yeah,
suspect that I've spent a lot of time studying copywriting, and I'm not going to pretend like I'm as good as you are at it, but I have spent like a solid year, like really deep diving there.
yeah,
So I think that the emails probably need more work than the sales page
yeah.
initially, probably.
Because sometimes I look at a sales page and I was like, oh, this looks a little bit wonky. Like there's 50,000 different fonts and sizes, and it's not even properly formatted for whatever device that you're looking on. I would also just look on it at mobile or on mobile just to make sure that it is showing up the way that you want it to, because we're finding these days that like 70% of traffic is coming from mobile.
Oh, for sure, that's true.
But there's like on first glance, I'm like, okay, this looks pretty decent. What we want to be making sure that we're conveying is what understanding their color analysis will do for them. So, and you might like you might touch on it in some of these things, but the thing that I might add is more of a story of
Okay.
when you know your color profile, you shop with confidence. And what is that like? I just keep asking, like, well, what does that give you? So that you feel better in your clothes, so that you bring a little bit of sparkle to your day, so that your relationship is better, but like tell it in a story of the outcome of knowing this, or like why it's a hidden secret that you're geared primarily towards women with the dresses, I'm assuming.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So like
Right.
the secret that women have forgotten, right? Like this is not necessarily so talked about anymore. The only reason I knew this is because I went to school for fashion. And so like really highlighting why knowing this is valuable and portraying that against the $47 price point. Like, what is it worth to them way above and beyond $47 to know this? If you can connect those dots, and I would start connecting them in the emails, maybe using
Okay.
stories
Yeah.
of the people in your world that you've helped, right? Like what stories have they told you about them knowing what their like color profile is, and then how they applied it to their life, and then what the outcome was of them applying it. Did they get a raise? Did they feel more beautiful and then they got a proposal? Did they feel more confident in the school pickup line? Like whatever those things are, like tell those stories in the emails. Don't list just the features and benefits of what's in the course. Nobody cares about the like technicalities of the course. They really care about like why, what's in it for me, what's the outcome, how's it going to change my life? Cool, take my money.
Okay, cool. I can do that and add that to the sales page probably too.
Perfect. Okay. And then let me just, oh. Okay, so then is this the thank you page for the $7 one?
This is the page after they enter their email. This is the page they get after their freebie.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
this goes off the freebie. Yeah.
Okay, so then this one, I just feel like it probably needs a little bit more context. So this,
Okay.
my eye goes straight to the order form just because it's almost like you opt in for something free and then your eye goes to an order form. You're like, wait a minute, I just put in something for free. So I actually didn't even see this. If you maybe moved the purple all the way down to be like the full screen that they see at first, and then there was like a keep scrolling or something, or even just hinted that something was below it. Let me try and see if I can jam it into a smaller screen. Like if it's like that, success, your guide is on the way, like make that fill up more of the page. Am I full screen? Yeah, I am. And then have some sort of indication that there's something down here for them to keep going. If they then start to scroll, I don't understand just on first look, like what my 24 pre-made templates are to create my perfect palette in minutes. So just connect it to the thing that they just opted in for. Like, how does
Okay.
this
I see that now. Yes.
enhance the next thing? I feel like if you do those two things, your sales conversion rate is going to immediately increase. And then you can go back to the emails and start to tell more of those like transformation stories and review those click-through rates.
Okay, cool. Would you recommend even like bumping up the primary offer and making it like more primary
Like,
instead of having it be like a bump on the success page? I was actually making it the offer
I'm not
afterwards.
I'm not opposed to any price at all ever. You can always test things, but I don't ever start with testing the price, just personally. I like to, the conversion rate is usually an indication of the value that people perceive. And
I'm sorry, I think I asked you that the wrong way. I meant
okay,
instead of using the $7 bump, maybe make the actual product, the color analysis course, the actual upsell.
on the thank you page,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think leave it as a
Okay.
$7 bump. I feel like a $7 bump off of a $1 lead cost. If you could improve that conversion rate closer to 10
Oh
to
yeah.
15%, you could almost break even on that.
Yeah, and that would be worth it. Okay,
Yeah.
for sure. I see that. Okay.
And then because you're in a market where you can get dollar leads, it's a wider market than say like B2B business coaching. Like those lower price points are beautiful because they can scale. And so yours is more of a volume play, but it's the conversion rates that we just need to focus on like first. The beautiful part is you already have all of the assets. So now it's just like small tweaks.
Yay. Thank you so much. That was kind
You're
of what my brain
welcome.
was thinking when I saw those numbers and saw the sample you provided. And I was like, it's over here on this side. But
Yeah.
hearing like exactly how to fix it, I can make that tweak so easy. Thank you so much. This is
Woo!
brilliant.
I love it. Okay. Amazing. I will let you go. Tell all the kiddos hello. You are a superhero. And I think, let me just go double check for cues. I think we've been pretty chill on cues today. I hope you guys absolutely loved this session. And then let me just give you a reminder that our next session is next week, excuse me, on Wednesday, November 20th. Excuse me, we are going to jump on Zoom and we are going to talk about now automating this reporting dashboard so that you can just have the data that you need at your fingertips. So thank you, friends. It has been a lovely session.